Yorana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. The year is 2069, and aside from being hilarious, this is just over 50 years from when we started the save. You can see my manager face and profile. That's because I just went back and holidayed without me being retired. Just because it kept the shortlists and new subscriptions sorted out, so it made it a bit easier to track a few things. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, aside from thank you very much for watching and all that jazz, and I hope you're all doing well. In the other video, one of the things I said I was going to do was tell you which teams were the kind of most successful, which I then skipped off. And there's no point me trying to show you this now because you'll see who's the most successful now, 50 years in. So basically, it was the Humpbacks followed by Moria, Taha, and Huahine, with AS Chance, Bora Bora just in the distance. In terms of most successful teams from different kind of island chains, Rurutu the most successful from the Austral Islands. Uapoa were generally the most successful from Marquesas Islands, with the Nuka Eva Spearheads in kind of second place. The Gambier Islands, it was Totangegi Wings because of what we did. For the Bass Islands, none of them particularly that successful. I think it would have been the Jupiters mainly, but I don't think they actually won much. So a bit of a disappointing island chain there. Apologies. And then within Tahiti, it's probably Huahine or Moria. I think it was Huahine in the end that edged it. That one. So there was a definite kind of clustering of good teams compared to others. There was a few teams that sort of fell from grace, like Papite. So here we are. We're going to have a look and see who's most successful now, what's changed, what the kind of values of players sort of are. I think back then the most valuable sort of Tahitian player or player from Polynesia was Johan Andre, who was worth about 4.4 million, and he had gone from the Tahitian leagues to Saudi Arabia. And then within the league itself, I think the most valuable player was about 650 grand. That was one of the ones from the Humpbacks, so from the champions basically. So you mentioned of Yanin here. Is this the Yanin we're thinking about? No, different Yanin. Just thought I'd check. He would be very old now. And we'll check the old players too. But let's have a look at one of the leagues. We'll go around the houses to do this. So here we are with the French Polynesian Island Premiership, top of the reputation tree. Start of the season, so you can't see what's going on. But you've got Mopia, Motu1, AS Chance, Papite, Bora Bora, Huahine Islands, Manue, Mahisha, Moria, Skybrights, Rurutu, Taha, Takaroa, Terras, who's the most successful Tuamotun side. Terahi and Tubai Lagunas. So a few surprises. So Tubai Lagunas are a Bass Island side, and they have made it up, and they're a bit of a yo-yo side now, but they have been starting to get into the kind of premiership, which is interesting. Their original stadium still, Southern Point. I like their sort of Charlie Brown style kit. We've also got Terahi, who are a Marquesan side, who I don't remember from the main save. They were barely involved in anything. They were just making up the numbers for the most part. But they've managed to make it into the Premiership and stay there. They're a reasonably stable side, even though they've got poor kind of facilities. They've built their new stadium. They've won the Marquesa Pride Shield a few times. Not a great kit. I'm going to have to change that, I think. Takaro Terras have been there before and they've come back in. So no huge kind of surprises there. Look at the Championship. Nothing particularly surprising other than Totangegi Wings are there. They didn't survive. We'll go back and have a look at them and see what's happened to them in terms of their appearance. In fact, let's look at it now. There we go. So they stayed in the Premiership for a lot. So we got them there. They stayed there until 2058, and then they've never been back since. In fact, they've flirted They've been relegated a few times. So, yeah, we were definitely the best thing to have happened to them. What's going on with their facilities? Still the same stadium. They've not expanded it. Only slightly more sponsorship as well. If we go down into the gold, you see Mangreva, Hivaoa, Maupti, Puka Puka, and Tuamotun have all dropped into the gold. They've hit hard times. And Silver, Mutons, and San Pedro have made it all the way down. I think I said this in a previous episode. This shouldn't have happened. Because San Pedro and Mutons have got under 23s in this league, it should have stopped them from getting relegated into this league. But I think maybe I didn't do the settings properly. Maybe all I did was stop the under 23s from getting promoted into the league the seniors are in, or getting promoted into the championship. But actually, didn't do it the correct way around for the other bits. So they've fallen from grace massively. And they have to play against their own under 23s competitively, which is a bit of an ethics issue, I guess. Let's have a look at some past winners then for the premierships. If we look at the past, you can kind of see already, can't you? So this is what we've got. So we left in 2030. So this season. So Humpbacks, Ace Chance and Taha. Huahine, Moria, and then that's it. No other team has made it into the top three. It's been split between Rurutu, Taha, Moria, and Huahine, and Ace Chance every now and again. And you can look at this. Look at this run. So the Humpbacks were having a good run just before we left. They had another good run, and then Huahine starts sneaking in. Look at this stretch. It's been about 7 years since anyone but Huahine won. And then before that, it was almost 15 years of just Huahine winning it back to back. So they must be pretty impressive now. So if you look at some of the players, they've got 4 million. They've got a Brazilian who's worth 4 million. We can't see. I need to be able to see. If I retire, will it let me see what's going on? Let's try. Let's go for... Yeah, now we can see. So I've retired now. Never mind. I mean, he looks pretty good. I don't know if he's worth 4 million, but he looks alright, doesn't he? You got people like Minau, he looks good. Caparuccia, he looks really good as well. The highest rated Tahitian player, all the way down here, Gwendal O'Burr. Good prospects. Say good prospects. 25. Jesse Morel, he looks good. Plus, they produce some decent players, but look at these nationalities. They've actually only got 3 Tahitian players around everyone else from a different country, and most of the players are worth at least $1 million. If we look at their kind of facilities, top corporate excellent training, superb youth. Look at this sponsorship that they've got. It's the Valentine Marley Arena, can't talk, Arena, who is one of their icons, one of their managers from back in the day. It's a nice touch. Nice touch there. How big's the stadium? 35,000. Missed that the first time round. Built about 14 years ago. 35,000 seater. What's their attendances? So they're filling it. In terms of highest average attendance. They're getting close to filling it. Those are good, healthy attendance numbers, much better than we ever had. Look at some of these matches they're playing for their friendlies. They had some South Korean sides. So that's interesting then. So Huahine are definitely on the up there. If we look at Humpbacks, who are their next best rivals, bit of difference. Many more Australese players in here. They've got a few foreigners. Ghana, France, Cameroon, Algeria, Slovenia. He looks good, doesn't he? He doesn't look that good. They don't look as strong, do they? Nathan Drake, he's good. He's a good Australese player, isn't he? Look at that. 18 years old. It's almost tempting to maybe play a season 50 years in the future, see if we can beat Huahine. That's an impressive, definitely an impressive player. Tony Jeffrey, he's good. Vargas is good as well. There are some very good players around here. If we look at their kind of facilities, training in youth are good and great. They're worth about 47 million. They've got some fierce rivalries now. Finally, these rivalries have developed over time. So they've got a competitive one against Ace Chance and Huahine. These are the ones they're fighting. We are still a legend, as it should be, as is Semi Gerard, as is Yannick Janin as an icon. Interesting players down here as well. They've got a. Oh no! I say oh no. I'm quite pleased by this. They've changed the stadium. It's now the Semi Gerard Park, so they've named their new stadium after Semi Gerard, and their old stadium, which was a 6,000 seater, was after me. So this is a 20,000 capacity facilities. Oh, I mean, I'm sad that they got rid of our stadium, but they've got to try and keep pace with the Eels, and they're still about 12,000, 15,000 off capacity. And it was built a year later. Semi Gerard Park. I'm pleased for him. I'm pleased that he's been recognised. Just sad our stadium has gone as well. But that's interesting. It's definitely interesting. If you look at the they've won a lot of honours now. 17 Premiership titles, 8 O-Leagues, 22 Inter-Island Cups, 10 Shield Prides, 43 Mutineer Pride trophies. I guess because there aren't many other teams that would challenge them for this. Mutineer Pride trophy. Takaro Terrors have occasionally won it, and the Wings and Puka Puka won it. And there's the first couple of wins where we didn't quite get there. So yeah, good trophy cabinet actually. Let's look at Huahine's as well. Let's get a comparison there. One Club World Championship, they won it. When did that happen? That's also Danny Harrison, this Northern Ireland. Okay. Poaching all the way from Northern Ireland. They won the Club World Championship. This is the highest competition they could win. 24 row leagues, look at that. That's insane. The World Championship, when they won it last year. That's a bit of luck, isn't it? It's, the stages. Who did they beat? They beat Independiente. The tree. Why would normally the tree lets you see everything. So they beat Borussia Dortmund. Penalties, but they beat them. This is why we've got to go all the way back like this. So they beat Al Ahly, who are the Egyptian side. Then they beat Sundowns from South Africa. Then they beat Dortmund, and then they beat Independiente in the final. That is impressive work, and I have a feeling well rewarded. A lot of prize money. I mean, no wonder they're splashing the cash on players all over the shop. So they've done well there. Look at the O-League. You can see this domination here as well. Every now and again, Team Wellington or Auckland City get involved. Humpbacks getting involved as well here and there. But basically, there's also the Huahine, the Eels competition for them. Let's have a look at a few of our former players then. Like Yanin and like Gerard, since he's got a stadium named after him. So we'll just search from this way. There we go. So he is fully retired. So he retired as a player at 32, then retired as staff at 35. So 11 goals for Chance, 104. These are all league goals for the Humpbacks, 25 for Taha, 36 for Moria, and then he returned to Taha there. He briefly managed Hiva Oa. Not even a year. And then after that, he didn't get any more jobs and he retired. See, this is one of the things that's going to be fixed. I say fixed, going to be adjusted for FM20, in that when you get these new staff members who are your former players, they're going to potentially improve depending on the people you pair them with. So if we'd still been around, this was FM20, we could have hired Jan in and got a better coach to take him under his wing, so he could have had a really good, career. But he's got a lot of trophies, a lot of goals. Nothing to be too sad about there for him. He doesn't have a stadium named after him, though, as far as I'm aware. Semi-Gerard Park. Semi-Gerard retired as a player at 37, so he carried on for another 5 years after Yanin in comparison. Did not go into any kind of management, as far as I can see. So 8 goals for Chance, 94 for the Humpbacks. Again, league goals, 32 for Moria, 3 for Taha, 3 for Skybrights, 50 for Meow, 4 for Hiva Oa. It looks like that might be around the same time Yanin was managing. 34 to 36, we'll see. Oh no, it's just after. Just after. So he could have almost been managed by his former kind of strike partner. And then literally a couple for Moutons. But again, a good range of personal accolades. He's done well there. Let's see if Andre's in here. He is director of football back at AS Chance. Amazing. 62 now. Getting on. Chris, that's on milestones. Biographies is the easiest way to do it. He's in the overall best. Interesting. So once he finished with Al Fateh as a player, he came back because he was there for the rest of his career. No one ever got him. He came back for the Turtengegi Wings. Well, he never played for us, but he was director of football twice. I don't understand this. Fourth, 42 to 47 and 44 to 47, same role. I don't know what's gone on there. And then off to AS Chance, which is where he started as a player. So he's a director of football. What does his attributes look like? They're alright. They will do. Tries to prevent crosses. He won a reasonable amount. So he broke the Tahiti Societies record for most appearances, getting 167 caps. 172 caps in the end. He's done alright there for himself, hasn't he? Is Paul Pons around? Feeling he probably isn't. Oh no, he is. He went to Al Riyadh and stayed there. What am I doing? I know what I'm doing. Let's go back to the Wings. Let's look at their transfers. Let's see if we can track some of the players we got. Or some of the players we brought in. So let's see what did Luka Machidi go on to do. Retired at 26. So after playing for Marquesas Societies, he went back to Spain. A few appearances, never really made it beyond there. Jean-Baptiste Moreau retired as a player. There's no room for him after he played for us. Logan Frey retired at 27. I have a feeling a lot of these players probably got released by whoever managed after us. 34, so he carried on, had a lot of appearances. for the Wings in the end. What happened to Renard? Retired at 27. So again, I think he probably got released and never went anywhere. Kalai, 36, stayed with the Wings the rest of his career. Good man. What happened to Valapapalangi? Nothing. No record kept for him. Gambier, retired at 35, retired staff at 46. Interesting. So he had a bit of a career, so player-wise. After us, went to Taha, Tetaroa, Rimtara. Back to the Wings. Back to Morpia. Back to Morpia, then back to Rimtara, then to Lagunas, then to Find. Bit of a journeyman towards the end. Assistant manager for the Jupiters, which he didn't hold for long. Then he was in charge of Noruta. A break. And was manager of the Sky Brights. Another break. And then he became manager of the Wings. I think he did very well with the Wings. But I think that might be around the time they got relegated. Just after they got relegated. But he did return to the team that nurtured him. Gave him his opportunity. Anyone else? This is all after us, isn't it? This is the people they brought in after. Lamb. Retired at 30, went to play for Taha and then Moria, so he played for some of the big sides as well. Twig, retired at 27. Tamangara finally went to Mutons on a free. Retired as a player at 31. 6 goals for Mutons. Third place in the UCL top goal scorer list. Anyone else to look at there? I don't think. Let's go back a bit. Spearling. Tied at 32. Went off to Uahuka Chevres. Felicity retired at 28. Not really anyone else to look at there, I don't think. So, some interesting careers for our players. Let's have a look internationally and see what's going on. Actually, no, before we do that. Rodrigo de la Vega Stadium still exists, they didn't knock it down. They improved its capacity to 12,000 and that wasn't enough. And now it just hosts international matches. The Austral Islands. So yeah, I just needed to see if my own manager ego. So Tahiti Societies are ranked 69th. I think we were just outside or just about 100 when we took them to World Cups. They've gone up a little bit. And if we look at some of they've got some big transfers. But these are they're not their players, they're just players within the kind of the country, essentially. They're not Tahitian players. But if we look at their top players here, Bastien Lefebvre plays for Nice, worth 55 million. Look at this, on 110,000. Looks good. Huahine produced him. They sold him to Saudi Arabia for 1.7 million and then went off for 11. They got fleeced there. He's good. That's a definite increase in ability. Got Christian Drevitz playing for Orlando City. Again, he looks good. Not bad. Not gone for quite the same amount of money. But something. They've got Ryan O'Bear already playing for the Humpbacks. I did have a look earlier on, so if we look at the national team, we've got a couple playing for teams like this. So you've got a couple playing for teams in Europe and things like that. So you've got Matthias Deluni playing for Ludogorets. You've got Oscar Kramer playing for Melbourne City, Orlando City as well. Brisbane Roar for Revel. Previously, there'd been a few players who had been playing in Germany as well, but they're just not in the national side. So I looked a couple of years before this. So a couple of good players playing elsewhere, but look at the kind of values. A few worth a couple of million. They've got a few like what's his face? Febra with 55. Not playing in this national side for some reason. If we look at the schedule, let's see what's going on. Can we filter it just for? So these two competitions. It doesn't seem to have worked, does it? Because I can still see qualifiers and friendlies. Never mind. So they're into the World Cup qualifier final against Austral Islands. Made it to the World Cup where they played against Italy and Ghana. Didn't get any points. They've made it to Confederation Cup a few times, I think. World Cup again, Uruguay and Sweden. No points. World Cup again, Chile and Belgium. No points. World Cup again, Nigeria and Belgium. No points. Seeing a pattern. World Cup, Uruguay and Spain. No points. Some tough teams to play, to be fair, some of these teams. Germany and South Africa. No points. Ghana and Denmark. No points. How many more World Cups left? Croatia and Australia. They managed to get 8 points. Drew with Australia. Portugal and South Korea. 1 point. Drew South Korea. And then I think Denmark, Nigeria. That's the World Cup we took. No points, obviously. So they've been getting to the World Cup on a reasonably consistent basis. They've got some good players. The most they've ever got in the group stage is a point. They've still yet to win a World Cup game. I don't think it's going to be much difference for some of these other teams. So Marquesa, they're 831st. They've not had the same kind of success. Their best player, Enzo Monier, it's alright. Gambier, 134th. Best players, Takoa Willis. Good, 400,000, but not anything special. Oops, that's not the way to do it. Tuamotun Islands, 114th. Manuel Mitao. You can kind of see the pattern, can't you? Tahiti have taken the lion's share of players, partly because Tahitain and other teams like that have done so well. Austral Islands are 91st, so because they've got Rura2 pushing them up, they've done the kind of next best thing. Chris Thomas looks alright. Let's have a look for some more of these players. Value-wise, the most valuable one is Nathan Drake, the one we saw playing for the Humpbacks. Good. Referee Francisco Vargas, who is pretty good as well, actually. He's Argentinian originally, and he declared for the Austral Islands, so he's been there that long that they naturalised him. Chris Thomas, decent as well. So good, but not 55 million. Good. The Bass Islands are missed out on as well. 26, nothing special going on there. So you can see that even 50 years into the future, we've still got a kind of World Cup issue. They're getting there. They're just not getting a huge amount of success. I have a feeling if I took over, I could probably do a bit more with the players they've got. But let's have a look at some of the players. I can't get to the transfer screen now, can I? I'll have to actually put a manager back in. Actually, let's. I don't know what I'm doing here. So all transfers. get an idea of how kind of money's being spent. So they're shifting a reasonable amount of money, aren't they? So Tahiti's making almost 4 million selling off Pablo Blanco, who is good. Omar Dadini, bringing in Ahmed Okoro. Bit of movement, bit of shifting there. If we go back, you can see there's this gradual movement of players. Again, Huahine making money, selling them off. So bringing in foreign players, selling them off again for a profit. So they're doing pretty good there. I'm just going to pause for a second, add a manager so I can use the search screen, see if we can find any other players who are actually any good. But just reload the game. That's much easier, isn't it, than me just pausing. Okay, sorry, I had to do a quick cut because I had to work out how to actually search for them. Probably is a bit, when you resign, it's a bit different, isn't it? So edit search, the nationality is all these options. So 55 million is the top there. Christine Drevitt, Gwendol Orbert, all the players we kind of mentioned. There's no surprises other than the ones we kind of mentioned. So you can see a few of them have gone elsewhere. So you've got Ofalua, San Jose. Other things we can be based not in Oceania. You can see who else is out there. So you've got Joshua Rose, who's off at the Bundesliga 2, $5,000 as well. Someone who snuck through that. Like I mentioned before, when I did do a slightly earlier kind of check before I got to 50 years, there are a few players playing in Germany as well, worth maybe 4 to 5 million, not huge amounts compared to Bastien Lefebvre. But they have made it. You can look at some of these wages here. So this guy, Bastien Lefebvre, 110,000 per week would mean at the start of this save, he could have run and paid the wages for every single player at every single club we had. I've no doubt that he could have covered the wage bill for every single club in this save when we started off. That 55 million is enough prize money for most of the clubs to live off for several seasons, at the very least. When we started, we had a wage budget of maybe 2 to 4 grand, depending on which team it was. And now we've got players on much more than that, even within the teams that are still here. There's been a big shift. They've gone from being near the kind of 200s in kind of world rankings, with Austral Islands and Tahiti breaking into sort of 90s and 70s. Frequent World Cup attempts, much better facilities, got a winner of the Club World Championship. It's been a big change, but it took 50 years to get there. So for FM20, our plan is to get there a lot quicker and in style. So thanks very much for watching me ramble for this one. I will probably do one more video just talking about what I'm going to do for the beta. Obviously for the main game, when the editor drops, I'll do a Tahiti save, I'm going to do a Yorkshire save, I'm going to create a Caribbean Super League that I'll probably show off, but maybe not play on the channel unless people want me to. But for the beta, I'm going to be doing a series I'm going to call By the Numbers, or Beta by the Numbers, where I'm just going to cover how to run. I'm going to cover basically my management from the side of just doing not just stats all the time, but every decision is going to try to be based on some kind of data, getting the most out of the game, marginal gains in terms of performances, looking at the financial side a bit more as well, but using things like expected goals, working that out when we make changes to tactics to see what's actually better. I think it's a beta save that we'll probably do it in Northern Ireland, but I'll mention more in the next video, or I might not be in the next video. I might just take a break and come back straight into the beta when it's finally released. If you've not bought the beta yet and want to, but also want to give to charity or a good cause as well, if you look for FM Samo on Twitter, he's got a code you can use. It's just Samo, the code, and you can use that to get money off from 2Game, but also the profit then goes to Calm, Campaign Against Living Miserably, I think. So if you're not going to get it, it's worth doing that. If you want to, that's what I've done with mine. And thanks very much. Thanks for being on this journey with me for Tahiti. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun to do it for the first time. Looking forward to next season, where we'll have to take on some new teams and make some new legends. Thanks very much.